Previously on InfraSpace.
After our last successful terraforming effort, we have been hired again with the added challenge of repairing a spaceship in orbit. We made landfall, and JD did what he does best, went straight into overproduction. Concrete, oxygen, food, water, and steel, along with science and research. JD increased supply lines, doubled production, tripled the population, and then went back to adding more production. Isolated microfactories seem to be our best course of action to cut down on traffic, along with extensive use of highways wherever possible. The spaceship is slowly being repaired. The hull and radiation shielding are done, so just 12 more parts to go. We moved on to the faster-than-light turbine, and JD was so confident he added a second construction port. We unlocked bigger drills, which led to bigger production, so off-site steel and concrete were built, which led to both population and power problems. Power was easily fixed. People, well, that's another story. With self-driving food, culture, and home robots unlocked, it was time to enable our suburban hell. This started with moving the spaceports to a more centralised area to allow people to get down from the spaceship faster. Turns out, JD can build a desirable city after all. Of course, that is if we ignore the bumper-to-bumper traffic that stretches for miles. So a raised bypass was added, along with a deeper look into traffic and lane control. We also had to look at previous builds and take what we had learnt about traffic and apply them to old construction methods to optimise and rebuild what we had before. Remember, for every like on the video, we get to silence one horn, and you can always click the subscribe button for more.
G'day mate, and welcome back to InfraSpace with me, Jetty. In our last couple of episodes, we've done a lot. We've unlocked a lot, and today I want to get into the mayhem that is trains. Because although the colony is going well, the colony is going very well. We're just waiting for, you know, some things to get delivered all the way down to this bottom corner. I have certain logistics problems. And although we've been using districts to try to solve these problems, the biggest problem I have with districts is they create an export rule. Actually, iron. Iron's a great example. I have iron down here. Which we're exporting over here to do green circuits and also to do home appliances, which turns out it's not in a district. And I know I saw this in editing and I was going to fix it, and I'm guessing I forgot. But I also, if we turn this off, have a lot of excess iron. An awful lot of excess iron down here that I'd also like to export anywhere, somewhere, anywhere. I'm not too worried. The catch is, these are export rules. What I really want is I want an import rule. I want to say, hey, you can only get iron from here. You can't get iron from anywhere else. You don't need to get iron from anywhere else. You can only get green circuits from right here, nowhere else. That's what I'd really want, but I can't do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the power of trains, which is at 98 of 100%, and we're going to play with some trains. And I'm hoping between trains, one-way roads, and a whole lot of districts in and outs, hopefully we can solve that problem. But before we get into that, I need to do a couple other things. The first thing I need to do is we unlocked previously yellow science. Yellow science requires neural science, plus it requires motors, plus it requires green science. I was looking at something and it requires methane, so I want to put in a couple of these. I'm going to put 4 here. I'm going to hope they work. That's pretty much where we're up to. Trains, we unlocked the mini train station, the small train station, medium train station, large main train station, and rail, which we'll look at in just a minute. Now, you guys are going to need more green science, which means I'm going to throw some green science like there, which is then going to need more blue science, which I'm going to throw like there. Can I get rid of that, please? Oh, and there, and there, and there, and there. And you guys could have an itty bitty road from there to there, and from there to there. Cool. We're going to hope that works. That's pretty much what we're up to. The only thing I do need to do is yellow science requires methane, which means I need to take my methane pipe and run it through to there, and we're going to hope that sort of works. So, rails. Rails are going to cost a little bit of concrete, a little bit of steel. Decent amount of concrete and a fair bit of steel. An awful lot of concrete and a lot of steel. A lot of concrete and a shit ton of steel, and oh my god, I can afford that eventually. So they require a little bit extra resources. So We're going to get to those. We're going to get to those in good time. But first, we're going to go back into research. I'm going to research the cargo gondolas because that's still blue and green science. And then after that, obviously, I want high-speed rail. Yes, I also want superhighways, but we'll get to that. As we're doing rails, I'd like to start working on that one. So that's going to be the plan. We're going to get a little bit more science up and running that hopefully works. Yeah. And then we're going to ignore the problem. They do require motors, so I've gone and doubled up motor production, but as you can see, motor production seems to be lacking on copper, which I'm doing my best. Both copper. Both copper mines are being told to export here, but I just don't have enough copper, which we also hope to solve, hopefully, today. But before I do any of that, I want to do something about steel, because, well, we're making a lot of steel, okay? This little build just dumps steel in here. We're making an awful lot of steel. But rails are going to need, under rails, I'm going to need 25 rails. Now, we have a lot of concrete. I have a lot of concrete to make a lot of concrete roads. That's fine. We have a lot of concrete, and it hasn't been an issue. But rails are going to be traveling further and faster, and I'm going to need more of them, and they're going to add up very quickly. Like, our highways use a lot of concrete and a little bit of steel, but rails are going to use a lot of steel. So first thing I want to do before we get into anything else is we're going to come in here and I'm going to double up steel. We're going to put one of these guys here, one of these guys here. Going to come over here. We're going to go for 2 lanes to that tile and then into that tile, and then we're going to go for a one-way there and a one-way there. You know what? Can I stretch that? Yeah, that's probably a shorter road. Okay, that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. Second thing I'm going to do is find the steel mill. Press home on the keyboard, because when you press home on the keyboard, it lines up the camera with the grid, which means I should be able to drag in a straight line without a problem. Should, don't make no guarantees. It is me after all, but we should be able to do that and get a little bit more steel production out. Now, that little bit of extra steel production is going to require power. It's already complaining. Perfect. So we're going to put a substation there with power from there to there to there to there to there, there to there, which has created its own special traffic mayhem, which I also need to fix. So to fix that, we're going to go with one-way highways. 2 lanes there, 3 lanes there. I'm going to come to this end. We're going to go for 3 lanes here and 3 lanes here. And this one is already 2 lanes. Okay. Then, oh, no. One more bit of movie magic. We need to put in replace roads. I want to take this up to a 3-lane one direction. Yep. Okay. With that done, we need to set up some traffic routes. So I want to bring carbon from both lanes into both lanes. I also want to make sure iron goes into the first lane, and then all 3 lanes go around here. Now, the biggest problem I have, and it's something that you'll find after you play an awful lot of InfraSpace, is this circle and this circle. This circle is both where I set the traffic controls, but halfway between these 2 circles is where trucks can choose to change lanes. And we might see right here that these iron trucks are coming here and then they're sliding over like right here. Also means if carbon wishes to go to the outside lane, they're going to do so at the same spot, which leads to a lot of mayhem and a good reason to have your roads stretched out as much as possible to hopefully make sure that they swap lanes as far away from one another as possible. But we have 3 lanes coming up here, which should come around the corner beautifully. Come over to here, we're going to bring 2 lanes. Actually, we're going to have 2 lanes go right, or the middle lane can also go forward, which then brings us into here, which should have 2 lanes going into there, which means hopefully they all get some concrete. Now, none of them are going to get water because I didn't set up water. We're going to go with a water pipe from here to there, and now everybody gets water and everybody should be happy, and it should sort itself out. Why? Does that help? Maybe that helps? Yeah, it sort of helps. Sort of helps. The traffic will clear itself up soon, I hope. Alright, so that should give us a bit more steel, which should mean I can build train tracks uninterrupted. Now, what I want to do is, gosh, you all need green circuits. Yeah, there's not enough green circuits to go around. or enough copper, or enough motors to finish the... What are we working on? We're working on the FTL turbine. I'd really like to have that finished, actually. All right. What I want to do is I want to set up some of the main production lines. The main production lines where we're shipping lots of things in. We're causing these sorts of traffic incidents that somehow have cleaned themselves up entirely. So you have lots of green circuits. You know what? Districts, green circuits. No, you don't have to export to there or export to there. You can export wherever you feel like. Because that's going to make the traffic worse. I guarantee it. Yeah, this is what I want to avoid. Okay, so I want to remake some basic production plans. Some basic things that we've built previously. We're going to be doing them all over again. But we're going to be doing them now with the added speciality of trains. Because I have iron, I have copper, I have iron, I have copper right here. What I want to do is I want to look at train stations. And we have multiple choices, like I said. We have the mini train station. It's so cute. We're never seeing this again. It's horrible because a normal train station is twice the length. I'm going to assume the fact that it's twice the length means it loads and unloads faster. That's my assumption. I've got nothing to guarantee that, but that's going to be my assumption. So that's the small train station, which has a lane in and a lane out. Okay. Then we go on to the medium train station, which has pretty much the same footprint, except it has 2 lanes in, 2 lanes out. Then we have the large train station with 3 lanes in and 3 lanes out. And then we have the big boy at 4 lanes in and 4 lanes out. Now, although it is me, and honestly, I would probably put down a 4-lane station everywhere just because I can, you know, future expandability, all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to in this stage, at this stage, that is correct, at this stage. I'm going to go for a 4. A 4 is still probably overkill, but I'm going to do a 4-lane. And I'm going to drop you right here. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to gather up my local resources and dump them in here. And if we come in here and go to you and go 3-lane, the train station has ins and outs. And these look like super highways compared to my normal highway, going by the different color. And I'm just going to tag iron into there. So iron has a dedicated way in. Copper also has a dedicated way in. This iron can come under the future train tracks and come in there. And then this copper can come into... That's the in. Come into there. Which means I now have iron and copper into a train station. But that doesn't help me because now I need to transport it to another train station and then do something with it. So what we're going to do is trains, big train station. I'm thinking right about here. Right about here. It's a good open space. Do I want 4 lanes? Or 6 lanes? Good question, JD. Let's go with 6. Rotate. Okay, we're going to put you right there. 6 lanes. 6 lanes. 6 lanes should be great. All right, then I need to get trains from A to B, or train tracks. Now, I have played with train tracks, and I've come to realization that I don't care. So I'm going to bring the train tracks up 3 tiles. You'll see what I don't care about in a second. Now, getting perfect 90-degree bends, it can be done. Like that looks like a perfect 90-degree, I hope. And then if I build this in a straight line, the train track looks to be straight. Yeah, that's all straight. That's wonderful. But it means I have to make all my corners nice and, well, sharp and short. Because there is no way I'm counting 30 tiles forward and then 30 tiles to the right to hope that I'm right to then make a curve. Instead, well, I'm going to say, you know what? Let's dump the train track about here. And then dump the train track about... That's reasonable. Oh, yeah. It's reasonably straight. Yep. And then we'll bring it on to here, and we can see. Actually, let's put it there. We see the train has the train track has a slight curve to the right. That is because it was not straight. It was not straight at all. But then we're going to bring the train track into there in a nice curve down. Now, this is going to be resources from A to B, which I regret already. Can I trim this back? Sure. I want to bring you into that track. Yes. And then into there. Okay. That brings resources from A to B. Now, unlike the trucks, which magically disappear after they're not doing anything, trains don't. Trains need to go from one back to the other. So I now need to have a train track that's going to go back the other way. Can I come up 3 tiles? Yep. And then we're going to bring it to about, yeah. And then I'm going to try and get these to run parallel to one another. But as you can see, trying to get the right tile to sort of match the other one's curve is shy on impossible. Now I could come through to all these different train nodes and use the move tool and move each one of them and try and get the train tracks to look a little bit neater like that, and that is perfectly legitimate, but frankly I can't be bothered. That's what it really comes down to. So I'm going to bring that to there, and then I'm going to put a loop-de-loop. Let's go to that tile. Yeah, and then back into there. Okay. So a little loop-de-loop at the end so the trains can go round and round circles. All right, step 1, 2 train stations. Step 2, train tracks. Step 3, trains. We're going to have a train line that goes from this station to this station. Yeah, beta then alpha, don't question it. We're going to make it a blue train. We're going to add 1 train. I'm going to call this iron and copper 1. Okay, 1 train. Now, couple of things when it comes to trains. First off, if I pause the game so I can click on it, he moves 800 items. That's an awful lot. Second thing is, well, there's nothing moving its way to the train station to be loaded, because at the opposite end, there's no demand. So I want to create some demand. So we need to pick something to automate, and I have lots of things I can automate. We can make some home computers, home robots. We can make some computers. Make home appliances, make more steel so we could make more train tracks, all sorts of things. But there's a couple of things we're going through a lot of, and it really comes down to, well, the home computers. The home robot factories need electronics. Yeah, the green things. So does the computer factory. So does the home appliances. So does Research Complete. So does the microchip factory, and so, well, and they actually produce them, and they come from just iron and copper. So I want to make some of these. Okay, so we now have cargo gondolas. We'll talk about those in the future, not right now. So what I want to do is I want to make a build for those guys. So we're going to have iron and copper right here. I'm going to bring my iron and copper out a couple of tiles just to give me some separation from the train station. And then I'm going to swap down to a 2-lane, and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a 2-lane highway, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 1-lane highway. Because we're going to make just a few, maybe too many, just a few electronics, just one or two. I'm going to bring you to there, and you to there. Okay, I'm going to use liberal use of districts, and the main reason for this is I wish to be able to very quickly, remove, there to here to here to here. I wish to very quickly and easily tell how much production is in a district. So if we come into production overview, we turn on districts, I click this district, I can see I have 487 iron and about 200 copper. So I want a build that's going to use about that much material. So there to there, we just drag this along, drag this back. Yeah, up and back a few times. Great. And then we're going to go in and we're going to make these guys without that overlay on. Okay. And without, go away. Cool. Electronics factory. We're going to build 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these. We're going to go with about that many to start with. And then we'll drag back the other way. I had about 200 copper to play with. So that's sort of the total I'm looking for. I'm aiming to use about 200 copper, roughly. Roughly, I hope. Okay, that, and then of course you need power. Can I put a substation about here, and a follow-up substation about here, and then power from you to you to you to you, and you need 120 megawatts worth of power. Each one of you guys is 75 megawatts, so that's us covered. And then production districts, I need 225 copper, and you produce 206 copper. So 220, 217, 210, 202. Done. All right, we're going to make a district exactly that big. That's how big our district's going to be. And let's just trim this back a little bit. Okay. And, oh, wrong button. Okay, districts. All right, districts. Now, let's come to this end. We can see we have trucks coming in galore. Beautiful. Now, because we have a 3-lane highway, we're going to have the first lane tear off here, right here, and head down there. And that's going to produce, well, it's going to take a iron and a copper truck and basically be replaced with 2 electronics trucks. Well, a electronics truck carrying twice as much, whatever. It's a 1-for-1 truck replacement. Second lane's going to disappear into here. Third lane's going to disappear into here, which means traffic should be very good. At this end, we're going to go with a 1-lane highway. Can I really, if you're that close, let's just drag you up a tile, drag you up a tile, drag you up a tile. We're going to go with a 1-lane into a 2-lane into a 3-lane. And then I'm going to delete all of that because I don't need it. And come on. All of that and all of that. Okay. And then same story here. I should have a 1-lane merging into a 2-lane, merging into a 3-lane. Yes, they're all left-hand turns, but it doesn't matter because, well, the traffic is perfect. Apart from the fact that these idiots are all trying to swap lanes right here in the middle because they're idiots and they couldn't just get in the right lane when they left the damn station. Yeah. But we can see that I have resources moving from this station to that station. Now, my trains carry about 800 materials, which means I obviously need a second train because there's already 1,200 materials sitting here in the station ready to be loaded up. And if I click on you, you have 700 and something of 800. Now, the one thing I don't like about InfraSpace and trains, perfect example, is train spacing. So, because the trains don't have a wait for empty, wait for full, any sort of wait condition, there's no good way to space out the trains. So realistically, the best way and sort of the only way I've found to space the trains out is sort of wait till they've reached a milestone. So if I wanted 2 trains on, I'd wait for 1 at this end and then I'd add 1 at that end, and then they'd be equal distance apart. And then when the 2 trains passed one another in the middle, I'd add another train because that'd be equal distance apart again. And then I'd have to wait till they're passing one another again and go in the opposite direction, at which point I'd add another train. That's my only complaint. There is no good way to set up a gap for trains to make sure you have enough on the line to service the need, but not have too many. Because you're popping in and there's only 200 materials here, which means I don't really need this train just yet. I sort of need it to have 800 in here and then be ready to go. And we already know we're making a production of, in this district, 216 plus 500. For every 1 piece of iron I'm going to use 1 piece of copper. So therefore I'm using about 400 of each. And therefore math says that, I need a train if that's a per minute production, I need a train every 2 minutes. But there's no way to space them 2 minutes apart. What we have done is we have finished repairs of the spaceship FTL turbine. As consequence, we received the following bonus. All buildings efficiently permanently increased by 5%, which means my large mines, 105%. All of these guys we just built, 105%. In fact, everybody's got 105% efficiency now, and we're still waiting for materials to come in here to feed the last of these. So, we have some trains. We have some trains delivering some stuff. I am going to... What are we going to do? Are we going to bring a train track from that station? Yeah, let's do that. Is that going to cause problems? Yeah, let's not, on second thoughts. Okay. Yeah, let's not on second thoughts. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a one-way road, 3 lanes, come out and go into... just go into there, please. All right, close that. All right, so you guys still all work? You do. Excellent. So we're going to bring all our electronics into this train station. Now, from this train station, I want to ship them to, well, here. Basically right here. Which means you guys are still full of electronics. No, they're all being shipped out. In fact, let's just do this. Remove. Cool. Yep, that should do us. And one other thing I do want to do very quickly is spaceship choices. So we can build all sorts of things. There is the option of building the passenger deck. I do want to get the laser cannon. Like, laser cannon is right at the top of my list. But it needs nanotubes, and I just don't have nanotubes available. So I'm going to go with a passenger deck because it's the only item that needs home appliances. And I'm about to ship home appliances everywhere before demolishing the build. No, they're motors. Okay, it's the only one that needs home appliances, so we're going to repair that. And we're going to go in here, and we're going to say districts, home appliances, no more. You can ship all your home appliances to districts. Yeah, they're all full. And where are you taking that? Oh, look, the spaceship construction facility. Excellent. Who also needs steel, which happens to be fine because it's sitting in the middle of this pile of steel. And computers, which are not locked inside a district. And if I plan this right, computers cannot go left. Computers can now go left because we have this express highway full of computers from our little isolated build up here, which should be able to ship computers into our spaceport. All right. What I want to do is I want to bring all my electronics over to here, and I want to drop them off literally right about here. So I want a medium train station I'm going to go with, I hope. Yeah, sure. Except I need to move you over a tile. Yeah, and we're going to bring you highway from there to there and just dump that stuff in. But it means I need to get train track from here to there. Now, InfraSpace loves laying train track. Okay, I love laying train track. It loves laying train track in short amounts, not very large amounts. So I need to hopefully aim roughly in the right direction, and then make sure that any of my straight lines are preferably less than about 500 steel. Because let's do a quick 1,000 and hope the game doesn't crash. If it does, I apologize. Yep. Oh, didn't crash. Yeah, it doesn't like doing very long train tracks. I gotta keep it to about 500 or less, and even then that comes with a slight pause to the game. So just something to keep in mind. Keep your train tracks relatively reasonable in length, not jetty length, because, well, you know. Okay, let's put this about here, and then bring this down to ground level, and then okay, that's too much. That's too much. Let's put you here. Better. Okay, and then okay, pick that up and go sure. Sure. All right, 1 train track. 2 train track goes from there to there. 3 train track is gonna go. Well, try and follow the other one back and try and make sure that they don't clip through one another, which is going to be the most difficult part because, as you can see, that was maybe too long. The train tracks. Oh my gosh! Really? Really? Thank you. The train tracks always are. There's a mathematical in the comments section. Hopefully somebody understands this and can remember the mathematical formula. There's a mathematical saying for something did when 2 things never meet, they just keep halving the distance towards one another. The same thing happens with the train tracks and trying to get back to center, like going forward straight. It always seems to be trying to get that and then just overshoots it a little bit. and ends up curving from a little bit to the left to a little bit to the right, and then from a little bit to the right to a little bit to the left to the, yeah. Trying to get it back on center is just impossible. This is why I just can't be bothered. I'm good to have train tracks that are a little bit special. It's like trying to put build train tracks in Satisfactory. Unless you've watched a tutorial video or spent a lot of hours learning, it's just a pain in the butt. Okay, so we're gonna have the train spin around at that end. We're going to have a brand new train. It's gonna go from here. Oops, yeah, train line 1. Oops. From there to here. And we're gonna call you green. We're gonna call you green circuits, even though I know they're electronics. It's fine. I'm gonna add one train to start with. Now, my one train is gonna be at this end, and it's gonna be leaving instantly. The catch is there's no green circuits for it to pick up yet, because, well, one, there's not really any demand, and two, these guys haven't been allocated to ship a green circuit from here over to there yet. So we need to wait for the logistics system to sort of A to B to say, hey, something over there is a green circuit that's not available. Oh, look, there's some over here. Let's ship some out. But we can see we do have some of them already. Next thing I want to do is I want to come over here and I want to create some demand by, well, we're just going to trim that, a bit of that, touch of that, and all of that. On a power network too. Did I hit a power pole? Cool, you're now on network 1. Okay, and then if I remove that, and I remove that, that should create some demand. Speaking of demand, I want to demand that we upgrade that road, that road, that road, that road, that road, and that road, all to the next level highway, and then hopefully, it helps if they're going the right direction. Yeah. Hopefully, that gets all the green circuits off this train. Hang on, the train's at this end, so can I add one at that end? And then we're going to click that one, which should take us to the other end. And hopefully you have 128. So you have some green circuits, not a lot. But as we can see, the trucks are roaring out, and we should fill up reasonably quickly. As for this one, yeah, there's not a lot of resources, so that seems to be running fine. And we should be good to go. All right, so we've got some things. We've got some green circuits. Now, there's one other thing I do need to mention very, very quickly. And this is why we're going to be using districts and everything else, is there's now an opportunity for iron and copper from this station to ship to this station. Okay, we know that. But then get off at this station, get in a truck, and drive to this station to then ship all the way down to here to then get off the truck, get off the station as iron and copper and drive on. I don't want that. Okay, so we're going to be doing iron plus copper. All right, we'll start with copper to there, plus iron to there. So this is one of the things I was trying to avoid, but we're going to have to have some sort of situation where I have iron and copper being shipped here, there, and everywhere. And what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to hook all my raw resources together and forward my raw resources into production lines, but then have everything at the production line be in a closed ecosystem. And the way I want to explain that is we're going to set up a very quick half build. I'm only going to do half of it right now because I think we're going to run out of time in doing all of it. Okay, so we're going to bring a highway out. Out of my highway, I'm going to have a one-way road going left and going right. We're only going to worry about one side for right now. And what I want to do is I want to make green circuit machines. I know I already made a bunch, but we're going to make a bunch more. Let's go with about that many to start with. Now, I do need districts. This is going to be very important because I need to get totals on the machines as we build them to try and keep everything in a rough ratio. I also need a substation. Let's go with there and hook you into this tiny power network. Are we good? We're good. All right. So, iron... from there to there, and copper from there to there. Okay, so let's iron and copper into the new one. And then after I've done that, I want to build microchips. Now, the reason I want to build microchips is, no, I want a one-way road. I want a one-way road here to here first. The reason I want to build microchips beside the electronics factory is that bonus. That 8% bonus adds up real quick. Very, very, very quickly. So I want to keep an eye on that because it's not going to work. It's not going to work until you're actually producing something. I forgot about that. Can I do a sand mine? Can I put you there and run? Run this road down to here. Cool, you guys all got your roads back. And can I get mines, sand mine? I don't care if it's overproduction, I just need it running. Okay, where were we? We were doing these. Let's press the home button and hope that I can get this done. Which way do you face? You face with the blue wall towards me. Perfect. Alright, back in the districts. I need you. Actually, can you be the same district? Yes, you can be the same district. You can all be one self-enclosed district. Alright, turn that off and turn that on. Alright, so I need 54 sand. I am making... I have a production of 78 electronics, and I need 109. I thought that would happen. Okay, so I need to go to that one, and we'll build a few more of those. A 98. No, you can stay there. How much iron and copper am I using? I'm using 50. And you're outside the power grid. Okay, can I go away? All right, substation. Can I put a substation right where you are, sir? You over there. Substation there. And shot. And roads. Where do you end? No, I need that. You end this tile, so I want to come from there to about there to about there to about there, and then remove that back in here and extend that up to there. Districts, drag that out. There we go. And I know we don't have enough iron and copper coming in, but we'll get to that in just a second. Where are we? 70 apiece, and we're making 140, and I need 100 and... I'm making 140, I need 110. Okay, and then... Gosh. Rotate, rotate, rotate. That way. That way. Not enough power in network 2. Okay, we'll fix that in a minute. 122, 124. Oh, I can't fix that in a minute. I need to fix that straight away. There you go, and there you go. Because it's affecting all the numbers instantly. Okay, 100 and almost very close. Okay, and production consumption 146. 146 is too much. There we go. All right, so I have some numbers. Sand is okay. All right, so that would be our plan. We're going to be bringing in all the materials I need to make electronics. Now, the electronics that have nowhere to go except into these microchip factories, but these have a efficiency of 105%. These guys, because they are connected to all those electronics machines, have a efficiency of 139%, which is massive. And then we're going to make life even more interesting by there. Okay, move you over a tile. So you can do 3 left and right. So then you go there, and you go 3 there. And then we're now up to 147% efficiency. Yep. You go 3 there. You go 3 there. You go 3 that one, roughly. And if I come back into districts, I can now see I don't make enough green circuits, and funnily enough, I don't make enough sand because the sand is outside the district. Yeah, that, and that. Back in the production overview, and yes, my production of microchips has gone up, but my production of green circuits is not keeping up because, well, I put an efficiency bonus on a lot of these, and that adds up. But it means I can go you to here, you to there, 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 you there, and you there, and then cut this back by a bunch of tiles. Or what am I short? I'm short just by a little bit. Can I go with add that, and that? Okay, too much. There. Alright, and let's move you out to there, bring in our roads from there to there, and then chop all of that. And put you over here and you over here, because there's no point putting them on the road sooner than they need to be. They sort of need to be on the road as close to where they're going to be used as possible to keep the traffic at a minimum. And that's one side of the build. The other side of the build I would obviously put over here. As for my iron and copper, well, we have some iron and copper right here, which I would link into 2 more tracks on our station. And the only last thing I want to do is, part of this demonstration, this episode, I'll do the rest off camera, is get a 2-lane highway out of there, bring it over to that tile, and into there. And that means, in theory, I can now ship out microchips. Now, there is a chance. There is always a chance, because they're stupid, that iron and copper, which we've fixed with the district, can't be shipped out. But there is a chance, like sand, might jump into this train station to be shipped over to the main base. Also, the electronics might be shipped into the train station to shipped into the main base. So what I need to do is I need to have a separate district. Nope. Yep, right through the middle. Yep. And trim all that away. I have a district just here, here, through to there. Make sure every single machine is covered. And I need to do electronics from there to there. And sand from there to there. And that should make sure things are isolated. So the only thing that's going to try and ship into this station is going to be the microchips that we're producing right here. And hopefully we can then ship them onto onto the main base. Now, unfortunately, the main base has, well, probably its microchips covered. Microchips. Remove that, remove that, remove that. So you guys can ship anywhere. And for right now, it looks to be covered, which is probably good because it means I have time to go fix the other one and add in the extra raw resources and also get it up and running. But as for this, it seems like everybody has electronics. Everybody who needs electronics has electronics. Everybody's happy. Where are we up to a spaceship then? What are you waiting on then, Mr. Spaceship? Nothing. It says steel. Oh, you guys are out of carbon. Oh, why are we out of carbon? I'm short on carbon. I'm also short on water. Good to know. Okay, water. Let's fix that really quickly. Yeah. Some power network is disconnected from some other power network. Okay. Water. Water is at a 7% efficiency because it turns out if you put water or you put oxygen into a pipe, it cuts down the efficiency. Yeah, I already fixed that. But I sort of need to have water picked up and I don't really want to put it into a pipe. Yeah, I don't want to really put it into a truck. That sounds like a nightmare. And I move the camera straight away. Okay, can I... Nope. There we go. Find the right tile for the mouse to sit in, and then everything works fine. There to there to there, and then into that one, and water again, and it needs to face that way. Perfect. Okay, and pipes, water pipe from there to hopefully there. And double check on this. Water is good. Yeah, we have 1,000, we only need 600. All right, as for carbon, can I get a one-way road? That one. That's water. I want that one. It's been so long. Atmosphere processor. That's the one I want. Oh, well, that didn't really line up. And these ones, I'm not going to hook it in the pipe network because at the end of the day, the oxygen for the housing is established via pipes. So there's going to be no trucks leaving to carry oxygen. I'm looking for that one. There's going to be no trucks leaving to carry oxygen, only trucks leaving to carry carbon, which means I should be fine with these not being in the pipe network. Also means they should have the efficiency of 105% rather than the 17% of these guys. Because I just don't have carbon. I don't have carbon to make nanotubes. I don't have carbon to make steel. I just don't have carbon. So it should be hopefully a relatively easy fix, especially if I use one-way roads, so nothing can enter into this mess. And where are we? That one. Okay, carbon's flowing out. Should be getting steel up and running. Should be getting these up and running, hopefully. And we should be good. I hope. But I also need to, as always, leave this episode here. We have, hopefully, if I go look at this end, hopefully, have, nope, there's no microchips ready. There's 13 in the machine, so there's just no demand yet. Okay, after I get the other set of resources plugged in and everything else into this station and bring in more iron, more copper, make more electronics to make more microchips, we should be good. But having these machines with an efficiency rating of like 155%, that's ridiculous. It means I need, well, 50% less machines to have the same output because, well, efficiency. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I also just realized however many machines I have on this side, I need to count them to have the same on this side, which I need to do. But I'm going to leave this episode here. We have trains. We have hopefully less traffic, and that's really what I'm aiming for. The next thing we need to build, I'm going to go with, is probably something to get yellow science actually running, because it's not running. We need neural processors, which are these guys, which need nanotubes, which comes from carbon, sand, and water. Carbon I can get from anywhere, sand I can get from anywhere, and water comes from a pipe, which means moving that off-site should be very, very easy. So that's going to be a plan for the next episode and probably the next couple of episodes. Just get some stuff off-site, get as much off-site as possible, just to sort of simplify the logistics, and therefore hopefully have less traffic issues. But that is a weird sound. All right, I'm going to call it here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I will see you in the very next video. All right, bye.